Greetings everyone and welcome to another traditional draft of Strixhaven. I have been drafting some Dominaria, but I still want to have some traditional drafts happening on the channel, and Strixhaven is the only set available for traditional drafts, so that's the set I'm going to draft now. Out of this pack, I think I'll take the Mavinda. A 3 mana, a 2/3 flyer are fairly good stats for a creature, and of course, especially when you first pick this guy, or is this whatever guy, a bird advisor, you can, you know, kind of prioritize a bit instants and sorceries that do target your own creatures, so you can recast them for cheap. Electrolyze would be a fine pick. I also like the Umbral Duke, but I'll take the Mythic Rare. I think that is clearly the best card in here. Okay then, this is an interesting pack, has strong cards. I think I'm leaning towards Humiliate. First of all, I think it is quite good with the, I mean, having black-white is quite good for my window. This does work in the low-hold archetype as well, but I think black and white have more cards that target your own creatures. Show of Confidence would also be quite useful with Mavinda, and it's not a bad card, but it's just not as strong as Humiliate. Grapeshot is okay, but nothing amazing. Fractal Summoning is a nice lesson, but of course doesn't really work that well with Mavinda. I think I'll just take the Humiliate. The decision, I think, is between Grapeshot, Show of Confidence, and Humiliate. So this Show of Confidence would be the pick that leaves you open the most, because it's just a mono-white card after picking a mono-white card. And then they are the two colors that combine with white in this set, black and red, that you could pick. And I took the one that I think, at least in my opinion, is stronger. I think Humiliate is better than a Grapeshot. Okay, so here, nothing great for the black and white archetype. Pilgrim of the Ages and Cram Session are the only black and white cards. Of course, the Excavated Wall could be played in the deck, but it's a pretty bad card. So, well, I'm gonna take the Environmental Sciences. I think it's an obvious pick for the reason that I have no idea currently what I'm going to draft. If there was something like something good from black and white, I would pick it maybe over the Environmental Sciences. Depends on the card, of course. I wouldn't take a random like a 2-drop over this thing. But because based on this pack, I don't know if it's gonna be black and white or what is gonna be open. I'll take the Environmental Sciences because it will always be a great card to have in your sideboard. Alright, so this pack though. Now there is a Cody which can work nicely, especially in Prismari, because Prismari has those expensive cards. Because this, as you can read the ability, you have to exile an instant or sorcery card with a mana value that is less than the one you just cast. So if you use this ability to cast, let's say, a 3 mana card, you can only get like a 2 or 1 mana instant or sorcery to cast for free. So it's not as good in all the decks, but it's very good in blue and red, I think, and maybe in some green decks too that have well, I guess it would be green black then, with for example, a Fractal Summoning. Anyway, I'll take another Humiliate here. It's the best card in the pack, I think, and I can still be black and white here. Now, that's less likely now based on this pack. The only card for black and white would be the Beaming Defiance. So for some reason the Humiliate just got past her. There were some other better cards for black and white, but based on this pack it's pretty obvious now that black and white is the archetype that definitely is not open. There's some black and green. There's a Quandrix Pledge Mage, which is good in any green or blue deck. And there's the heated debate, of course, which I'm thinking about picking. I think I could still be low hold. I don't think I'm gonna splash Humiliates, although this is a best of 3 draft, traditional draft, so I could like sideboard these things in if I really need to. But I think the best card here is the heated debate, and it still works with the Mavinda. Well, I mean, it doesn't work in the sense that, yeah, you can cast it, but you have to pay 8 more mana. But it is, a red card combined with white card, so I could be low hold, and in that sense it works with the Mavinda. And now this pack, okay, that's pretty interesting because now suddenly there are black and white cards. There's a Mage Hunter's Onslaught and an Eager First Year, which both are actually quite fine for this black and white deck too. I really don't know what I should take here. I think I would, if I knew I'm going to be black and white, I might take the Mage Hunter's Onslaught, but now I'm not sure. I could still be that, or I might just be low hold, so I'll take this Eager First Year, because this works in both archetypes. Okay, well, wow, what is this? So Heated Debate, pick number 7. There's also Field Trip, which I think is quite crucial in green decks, especially if you can get Fractal Summoning. It's a fantastic card. Okay, there's a Prismatic command, which is not the greatest command, but it's still pretty good card. This is pack 1, pick 7. And then there's the Returned Past Color, Guiding Voice. I don't know, actually. I could just take the Guiding Voice for the same reason. It works in both archetypes, but I'm not sure if I want to. Okay, I'll take the Debate. I'll take the Debate because I can splash it, even if I would be black and white. And it does seem like I'm not actually going to be black and white here. There's no black here. Yeah, okay, it's probably going to be a low hold deck, which means that both the low hold Campus and the Illustrator's Historian are good, but I do like to have the mana fixing. I also like the Illustrator's Historian quite a bit, but I'm going to at least splash the Heated Debate, if not, just playing straight blue, white, red. So let's take the Campus now. I really like to have these lands. Okay, here, Stonerise Spirit. I don't like the Rescuer, but I quite like the Stonerise Spirit. Now I have to pay attention to this Mavinda, but there's nothing in here that targets only my creature, so I mean, a spell that targets only my creature. So this doesn't target my creature. Even though it puts a counter on my creature, it doesn't target. Alright, let's take the 2-drop. It's fine to have like a 1 Stonerise Spirit most of the time. Okay, so, well, red is definitely open. That was pretty obvious after having the pick 7 Heated Debate. But here are multiple options. The low hold Campus, Pigment Storm, and the Grape Shot. And I think the Grape Shot is the better one here. Yeah, I have 1 Campus already, so let's take the Grape Shot. And here, I suppose I could take a Campus, but not because I have the Mavinda. I will actually take an Infuriate here now. It works nicely with Mavinda. How many of these Campuses there were? I think I'm gonna take now the Campus over the Sudden Breakthrough. I want to play multiple of these, even if I don't splash. Yeah, I don't think these red cards are that important. I'll take the land now. And here it doesn't really matter too much. Don't think I'm gonna play those. First Day of Class is something you can play if you end up with more good lessons, those creature lessons specifically. Okay, I will cut the Humiliates. I don't think they are quite worthy of a splash. Now here, this pack has it has 4 cards I wouldn't mind picking at all. I mean, Rip Apart, Combat Professor, Elemental Summoning, and the Stonebound Mentor are all cards I would want to have here. Now the first, card I'm going to drop from the consideration is the Stonebound Mentor, and the Elemental Summoning. I don't think I would pick this over these good cards, but Rip Apart and Combat Professor are quite close, especially when I already have a couple of Heated Debates. Now this does have the Disenchant option too, but Combat Professor is an extremely strong card. But I think I still take the 2 mana removal here. It's just, I don't know, it's so efficient when it's good. And it's of course good when you have creatures to target with at most 3 toughness. Right, so someone is gonna take the Tempted by the Ulrich, and I still have nice options here, Spirit Summoning Stonebound Mentor, but now it's going to be the Combat Professor. I'm not gonna pass another one of those now. That was my first 4-mana card, and actually first card that costs more than 3. Alright, so a lot of Prismari is open, and I didn't actually see that many open white cards, but I took the Mavinda there, and I already have taken the Combat Professor and the Reaper part. The Eager First Year and Stone Dry Spirit are not exactly reasons to force white, but I have some good white cards here still, so I don't think I'm gonna move to red and blue here, although that maybe was an option there. But now the question here is between the start from scratch and elemental summoning. Now I don't have any learn yet, other than the first day of class here. I don't know, I think I'll still take the elemental summon. I like the start from scratch a lot, but I really like the elemental summoning, and I assume I get some learn cards hopefully still. Oh, all this Prismari, so open here. Now another Cody too. This deck is not for Cody. It really just isn't. I don't have any expensive enough these things, and I will have quite a few permanent spells, so I don't want to kind of prevent myself from casting those. Here I could take a third campus, but I think I'll take the Blood Age General. It's usually quite okay with the red and white archetype. There are a bunch of spirits there, and I still need 2 drops, so I'll take it. I have 2 campuses, so I don't really need to focus on the campuses that much now. Okay, so here there's an Inkling Summoning, which I would not mind having here. Tome Shredder. I don't think I'm going to take another Stone Rise Spirit, especially because I don't really have any synergies for those, card leaves a graveyard business. That there are some of those in this set, but I have none of those in the deck. Pigment Storm, Tome Shredder. It's a quite tough one. I could just take the Inkling. I think I'm going to take the Inkling and really hope to find some learn cards. I'm not taking another Inkling. Reconstruct History. I think I'll just take the creature. I actually need creatures here more. So now I'm taking the Stonebound Mentor here. Defiant Strike is okay and would be nice with Mavinda, definitely. But I think I'll just need some actual, creatures to curve out nicely. I don't want to have just, pump spells, because then I can't curve out. I want to play creatures on turn 2 and turn 3 if I don't have any targets for my removal spells. I don't want to count on my opponent playing some creatures to, enable me playing some cards early in the game. I prefer to just have creatures available myself, because I can always play creatures, even though if I have some removal in hand. And okay, there's an enthusiastic study. I'm really wanting to have it for a couple of reasons, or maybe even 3, because it's just a very, I think, decent card when you have lessons, and I definitely have. I have Mavinda, which combines with it very nicely, and I really need some learn cards to actually utilize my lessons. I might even take the first day of class here and play it in the main deck. Okay, so Heated Debate, Lohold Pledge Mage. I'm gonna take the Debate here. It's still quite efficient. And I can take the Stonebound Mentor, only card I'm actually even interested in here. So white, definitely. As you can see, I haven't gotten really any white here. Well, I've gotten a white and red cards, but not white. And I get these good Prismari cards are still here. So I think Prismari was the color combination to be in, but I guess I took the Mavinda and then I first picked the Rip Apart. That kind of made me draft white, although I could have been having a bit better Prismari deck here, for sure. Alright, here, start from scratch. I think it's better than the Teach by example here, but I need more learn cards. I think I might just play the first day of class actually. Oh, Cody is here. Well, I'm taking it. Even if I'm not playing it, I get the 20 gems. And let's take the Pledge Mage. I don't usually like to play this in non-Prismari decks, basically in Quandrix or Lowhold, because it is a 2-drop that is a double caster red or double caster blue in those decks. But I guess I can sideboard it in if I really feel like I need a 2-mana 3/3. Okay, I can play the Relic Sloth actually, because it's my only card that is, costs more than 4. How about this pack? Something good? Well, there are something good, but not for my colors. There are actually a lot of good cards in here. Kiane, Overgrown Arch, Mortality Spear, Witherbloom Apprentice. Those are all cards I would, first pick and be happy about it. For me, the option is Introduction to Annihilation, Pilgrim of the Ages, Lowhold Campus. I don't really need the land for anything. I think I'll just take another campus here. It's a very weak pick for this situation, but I think I'll just take the campus, and this makes my mana at least a lot better. Okay, Rise of Exodus is good. I need learn. Well, I don't know if I need, but I definitely can use more learn. And in these white and red decks, it's a better card, I think, than in the black and white, because the black and white decks usually have a very low curve. This seems to have a low curve, but it doesn't have to have a low curve, so a 6-drop is fine here. And there's not really that amazing other cards to pick here. Alright, there's another environmental sciences. Usually the second one isn't that required. There's a Lowhold Excavation, but I think I'll just take the Blood Age General. I still want to have some 2-mana plays here. And I have 5 spirits here. Yeah, all these 3-drops, for example, here. All these Stonebound Mentors are spirits, for example. And I guess the 2 other ones are the Blood Age General I already have in here, and the Stonerise Spirit. So this can have some spirit synergies. Yeah, I will take it over the second environmental sciences and the Lowhold Excavation, which is quite slow. Right, Expel. That is a fantastic 2-drop. Sorry, no. I was looking at the Illustrator's Historian, which is the 2-drop. Fantastic sideboard card, that is. But now that there is the Illustrator's Historian, which I like a bit better than the Blood Age General here. Yeah, I would take the Expel for sideboard, or maybe even main deck. Not sure about the main deck, but I think I still want to have the Illustrator's Historian. Now I start to have enough 2-drops to be happy about the amount of them. Okay, all these great Witherbloom cards are coming here. There's still an Eager first year, but I think look at my curve here. I can just take the 4-drop here. It's not a bad one for curve. Usually pretty mediocre creature, but definitely as a curve filler it works now better than the Eager first year. So let's take it. And another Relic Slot. Okay, Quandrix Cultivator coming this late. I definitely don't need the Campus Guide. Claim the Firstborn is not good. I take the Relic Slot, but probably won't be playing it. Alright, so here... Oh, what a pack. I would want to have the Spirit Summoning, Ardent Dust Speaker, and definitely the Radiant Scroll Wielder. I'm taking the Scroll Wielder. It's just... it can really dominate very nicely when... It is a random effect, but it's still... You can get some very nice value out of this thing. So I'll take it, but I'm very sad to pass these other things. What can you do? Okay, Shock versus Ardent Dust Speaker. Now I have a bunch of... Well, I guess I don't have that many ways, and I have a couple of Relic slots here as 5-drops. Fine, let's take the Shock here. This is mostly red deck, right? There's not really a lot of white here. There are some, still at 12 because of all the red and white gold cards, but still. Okay, Twin Scroll Shaman doesn't seem like very useful in here. Do I want to take the Cogwork Archivist for the sideboard. Because I think that's the pick, because I don't think I want to play 2 Stone Dry Spirits. Yeah. Okay, the Make Your Mark isn't that bad. It also works with the Mavinda actually. Maybe I main deck it. Who knows? I think I like it more than the red cards in there. Okay, Mage Duel here. I'll take the Thrill here. It's an uncommon. Okay, I don't need a 4th campus. I'll take the Blood Age General because I have quite a few spirits. And I still got the Eager First here, but there's also a Mortality Spear here. What is this? I don't think I'm gonna play that Eager First here, so I'll just take the uncommon. No one should get a so late Mortality Spear. So definitely I wasn't in the open archetype, but red was so open here still in this draft that I got a very, reasonable deck in the end. Am I gonna play the first day of class? I will put it there for now, because I have quite a few lessons. Zephy Boots is a consideration too, but I think these cards in my sideboard, they are ones I won't be main decking. So lessons are those 4. 2 creatures. One that, well, when you need to land it is very good, of course, and sometimes you might even want to have the life. Start from scratch can be pretty nice too. You don't always have an artifact to remove, but you definitely can have situations where the 1 damage matters. So that is 4 lessons, and most of them, well, 2 of them are always useful, the creatures, and the 2 other ones are pretty often useful as well. So learn cards are 3 here, so I could play the first day of class. I would be a bit happier about it if I had also the Spirit Summoning, but I took something like I took a very good card over it, didn't I? Was it the Scrollwinder? I don't actually remember. Doesn't matter now. Because I have to make some cuts. I will play 17 lands in this deck. And I think I will play both of these sloths just to have some, a bit of this late game here. This is not a kind of an aggressive deck after all, in the end. So, how good is the Grape Shot going to be? I don't think the Grape Shot is going to be that good, and I don't have a lot of useful Magecraft. This thing has Magecraft, because of course the Storm does trigger the Magecraft quite nicely too, because it copies spells. But I think the 1 Eager First Year is the only Magecraft thing I have here. That seems to be the case. So I can cut the Grape Shot because I have so much other removal. I have a Shock, I have a Rip Apart, Triple Heated Debate. That is enough removal. Plus, of course, the Rise of Extus. And then I will play all these 4 drops just for curve reasons, and I will play, I think, both of these relic slots too. How many of these early cards can I actually not play the Eager First Year? Because let's see the amount of 2 drops. The Historian is 1, General is 3 more, Stone Rise Spirit. That would be like, if I cut the Eager First Year, because it's not really that important in this deck. If I cut it, that is 5 creatures I can still play on turn 2, and there's the Rip Apart too, which I can play on turn 2. And if I really need an extra land, if I need to, I can play first day of class on turn 2 to get myself an Environmental Sciences. So I think I will cut the Eager First Year, at least from the main deck. If I need 2 drops against some other aggressive deck, I can sideboard it in. So here the Zephyr Boots maybe is a card I need the least in here. And then I would have to decide between what? I think it's the first day of class. Maybe I should just cut it. It's not going to be amazing here. It's going to be okay, but not amazing. So if I cut it, that's 14 creatures plus 9 non-creatures. all of which are instants and sorceries. Yeah, I like to make your mark here because of the Mavinda. So basically the cards that target my creatures, the amount of them is going to be Infuriate, Make Your Mark, and the Enthusiastic Study, so 3. Of course I can target with removal my creatures too, but that's usually not what you want to do. So that's 3 cards I can use with Mavinda without the 8 extra mana, and of course if some game goes super late you can actually pay the 8 extra, but that is going to be a pretty rare case. Now I cut one of my learn cards, which means I have only 2 learn cards, and one of them is a 6-drop. But I think I just have to live with that. I have 8 spirits in here, so the triple blood age general will be actually quite okay in here. Yeah, I like this as a main deck, and then I can adjust based on the opponent's decks. But this seems to be like a okay one. I have some removal for small and middle-sized creatures. I have some of this spirit synergy, and I have some decent late game, well, combat professor, not exactly late game, but it's still something that can help you push damage through. The scroll reader basically requires an answer from the opponent, or it can take over the game, and yeah, it's not the greatest deck, but it's a playable deck, and mana will be good with a triple campus. 12 for white, 19 red, but I think the white cards I have here, I need the 3 drops. Yeah, I don't really see any reason to play like more mountains. I will add 7 plus 7 basic lands, and I think it's gonna be 7 plus. I mean 14 basic lands, and I think it will be 7 plus 7, because even though I have more red cards, I don't have like red double casters in here. And with the low-hold campuses, I still have 10 red sources. I definitely need to, I don't need to hesitate, but I want to have white mana in my starting hands too. So let's take I'm going to take actually these M21 lands, because I finally played enough Jumpstart to get the Chandra Mountain, because I had so many events of Jumpstart when the only pack I was missing, or the land I was missing, was this Chandra Mountain, but I actually managed to get it finally, so now I will use the Chandra Mountain here. Alright, that's the main deck. Well, I'm on the draw. I can kill the opponent's first few creatures, and then I can maybe play the Relic Sloth. So it's not a great hand, but it's not a lot better when I don't miss my turn 2 play. Spell Satchel. Okay, that is something that can be annoying in the late game. They can draw some extra cards if the game goes late. Stadium. Okay. Well, hopefully I can debate their next play. It could be the 4 mana. It could be the 4 mana 1/5, of course, which I can't debate. Okay, that's a lot better. Come on, land. Okay, that is perfect. That is perfect then. I get my combat professor up. Don't think the stadium is gonna win the game for them. Okay, effigy. Yeah, sure. Okay, that is a 4/2. Okay, they get a lesson there. Not much I can do about it. Okay, they can reduce to memory the combat professor. Yeah, I will just play the relic slot, so I'm gonna offer the trade with the historian, of course. Or do they have something? They take 5 here. I didn't have exactly lethal. I had actually 1 plus 3, so they would have gone to 1 there. Okay, so this is an exile effect. So the make your mark won't help there. I'm gonna play my slot here. They are most likely going to exile their slot, but I will get a 3-2 and then they will be in trouble because I can heated debate the artist and I can have the infuriate win also. Okay, they had that. Sure. It is dead. And they are they going to use the reduce to memory here? No. So I think I should just heated debate this guy and see what happens. Yeah, you get a treasure token. That doesn't really... Yeah, that's... Well, they can draw a card, but that costs them 3 mana, so it's very unlikely they have something. And even if they did, I have the infuriate win here for the unblocked creature here. And the make your mark. Right, so what I saw here was... Well, my triple heated debate will be great against the 4-drop and the 5-drop here. And they have a sudden breakthrough. Defend the campus. Well, they have that. It's good against the relic slots, but I don't think I'm going to cut the relic slots, no. I don't know if I have anything bad against them, their deck. And do I need something like a Zephyr Boots here? I don't think I need. I have to start from scratch to kill something like, well, I don't think I'm gonna be in a big hurry to kill these, but it's an option. Okay, I don't think there's any sideboarding I need to do. Well, 1 land, mulligan. I'll keep these, and I think the relic slot should go here because I have only those 2 lands. Do I want to keep the shock up? I suppose I want to. Oh, they offered it. Yeah, I was thinking about they are not gonna offer the trade. Well, let's shock it. Okay, actually I'm attacking first. Just in case they bug or block, I can use make your mark for a cheap 3-2. I didn't expect them to do that, but now I can still shock this guy and then play the Stone Rise Spirit, which I can even pump with the Blood Age General if I can't attack with it. Although with the Infuriate I probably can attack with it. They have no play, really. They had 5 cards in their hand, 4 mana, 2 of both colors. Okay, that is a Stone Rise Spirit. Why not attack with all? I won't be using any tricks here. Oh, they are using a trick here. Well, that's good for me. That's very good for me. That's like a Defiant Strike, right? God's willing. What? But that doesn't make any sense. They get to scry, but they just wasted the God's willing to prevent 2 damage. Why? Why would you do that? That is also a spirit which I can use. I can use the Blood Age General to pump it. Okay, now that is the same card I have. So they're gonna randomly exile that one. Nothing I can do about it. Okay, they get better options here now. Well, with the Infuriate I should be in a good shape in here, because that means they are not going to... Am I going to... Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so I should pump these guys. They are just throwing away the spirit, which is fine. And they will randomly exile either the God's Willing or the Guiding Voice. There's no control over that. And then if they don't cast it, it will remain exiled. They don't get another chance to play it. So maybe I was supposed to attack with the Blood Age General too. I think that would have dealt, yeah, that would have dealt like 1 additional damage. Because with the Infuriate, the block with the Scroll Wielder wouldn't have been great. But let's see now what happens. They get to... Okay, the God's Willing is actually better for me. It's something I don't have to care about. If they cast it on this turn, they get to scry. That's basically all it does. Then they can exile a Stonebound Mentor, which will give me a spirit which I can still pump with the Blood Age General. Okay, so they decided to... Did I have a scry up there? I might have had a scry up, which I didn't use. Oh boy. So... It feels like they have something. So I think I'm gonna make this guy fly. I get to scry even. I don't need that. Hopefully it's not an expel. Just have a heated debate so my Infuriate will work. Nothing really. They have to do something, otherwise the... Okay, what? Okay. Well, now they have a Guiding Voice. They can make this a 4/6. I don't have a card in my graveyard now for the... Okay, they decided... But do I have a win? Let's see if they tap out, because I might have a win here. Because the Infuriate is, of course, going to be... So they don't use the Guiding Voice here. So they have something for 2 mana. Okay. Okay then. Well, I'm not in a big hurry here at all. They don't even have anything for the Scroll Wielder trigger right now. So I will attack with only my flyer now. And I will kind of make it a 2-power flyer, and then I can play my Relic slot. Maybe they have the trick which gives first strike and it makes it, I mean, +2/+0 and first strike and treasure token. That's probably what they're having, because I saw that one in the previous game. Okay, you can attack with that. Yeah, make your mark works. Okay, that works. I'm not dying here. Wow. And then... yeah. I was just thinking, the reason I paused there is that I was thinking about using the make your mark. Because then I can make Stonebound Mentor to fly. And then I can make it a, you know... Sorry, yeah. I could make Stonebound Mentor to fly, and I could give it, you know, the extra power to make it a 4-mana creature. 4 power creatures, and then the relic slot with menace could also, you know, be a lethal attacker. And then even if the opponent deals with both the mentor and the relic slot, I have still the infuriate into Stonerise Spirit, which is also 4 damage. So I think I would have at the end of turn done something like use to make your mark on, you know, one of the guys, for instance, just to have a card in my graveyard. But yeah, that was opponent had only pump effects. And that wasn't enough there because I had evasive creatures. Hmm, 5 lands, opponent mulligans. I guess I have a 2 and 4 drop. I will keep these. I'm on the draw, or they're mulliganing by the way to 5 here. So if I draw some non-land cards, they should be, because most of them in the deck are cheap ones, but of course the first draw was just a land, which I don't exactly need. Wow, 2 lands in a row. Let's see if my third draw is actually at least not a land, because even if it's like a 5 or 6 drop, I would be happy about it. But opponent mulligan to 5, and I did draw. Wow, look at this. First 3 draws after keeping a 5 lander lands, and now opponent has actually a good curve here. And now I got the 3 drop. Okay then. Yeah, I'm gonna cast the mentor. It is less good use for mana, but I would rather trade the mentor than the 4 power could be, you know, something that matters here. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna lose to these flyers because they're gonna drain some life too. Wow. The 3 lands there meant that my first play happened on turn 4, and that is really, even though the opponent mulliganed to 5, that is the way to lose games when your first play on the draw happens on turn 4. Now I kept a risky hand, but I had a 2 drop actually, but they had the 1 mana removal on it. Alright, so Stonerise Spirit will trade with the Silver Quill Pledge Mates, so I think I'll just attack here. Although this... the Stonerise Spirit is always also a way to, you know... to block these 2/3s with them, or, you know, my 3/3s. But... I don't know. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I will block the Pledge Mates if it's gonna attack. I'm not taking 7 here. Still choose not to. Okay, so this is a race now. They're hoping to find a flying for these things. But it is definitely a race now. So I will do it like this. So I need them to not find a Magecraft trigger, because whether they take get lifelink or flying, they both are very bad for me. Okay, they get the land, which means they have the Spectre up, they get drain ability, and I have to be very careful here. But now I have also a lot of. So let's see. I have that's 7 mana, so I can play the mentor and use it to block So I can attack with all of these guys, force them to make blocks. Right. Even with the spirit. Because this is... Okay, it's 11 damage, so they have to block 1. But if they only block 1, they're basically at 12 life, thanks to the Spectre, and I'm at 5. So I think I can't attack with the spirit. Seems like the case. Yeah, I'm going to... Because they can use this now, and then they can use it on their turn. I'm effectively at 3 life right now. But I can block the Spectres. But if they go for double block right now... Well, I guess I'll just have to live with. Yeah, I could have raised the opponent if I didn't miss those plays before turn 4. Because now the double... Well, I have of course a lot of heated debates in here. But now they can't attack. Well, they can, but they will lose a guy here. I get to scry actually a couple of times. Heated debate, please. That's good, but I think I need heated debate instead. That allows me casting of the Scroll Wielder and using the Stonerise Spirit. But the problem is, if I don't block both of those guys, I will actually go to 1. So I think I need a heated debate. Yes, I do. Yeah, if I go to 1 now. But I will lose on the next turn anyway, right? So if I don't find removal on the Spectre. And I can also find a Rip Apart. So if I jump block here, I will go to... Well, I will stay at 5. But they can end of turn drain me once. And then they can attack and drain me again. So it doesn't actually matter. So I'm gonna take this, because I need removal here anyway. That is like given. I might even do Upkeep Scry here. Yeah, I think I need to do Upkeep Scry here. And find a kill spell on this thing. They had only a land, so I can still win in that case. But I need the kill spell. So let's scry. There it is. There it is. Now I only need to dodge a 1 damage, and then I will most likely win on the next turn. Okay, so that's it. That was close. That was so close. I know I could have scried with the Lord Campus too, but it was definitely worth having 2 scries by using the Stonerise Spirit. Also, it used 1 less mana if that mattered. Okay, so black and white, which I only won because they mulliganed to 5. But of course my starting hand was very... well, the hand wasn't great, but definitely the 3 lands I drew wasn't great either. So Pledge Mage, I will have the very good lesson against those things. The 1 damage producing lesson. I think I want to have the first day of class because of that reason. And I think I might want to have the Eager first here. I'm not that worried about the Spectres because I have a lot of removal for them. Oh, the Grape Shot will be good against it. That's actually even better. The Grape Shot against the Pledge Mages. I will take the Grape Shot in here. What am I gonna cut? I think one relic slot should go away. And then what else? I do feel like, yeah, I don't think I'm taking the first day of class now, but I think I want to play the Eager first here, just to make sure I have the early game here available. And what is the card I shouldn't play here? Feels like the Fuming Effigy. Not so great when they have the 3 mana, 3 power things. So let's cut it as well. Mulligan again. Let's see if opponent can keep 7. They kept 7. I won't. Well, deck has 10 for both sources because I have 7 basics and 3 campus lands. If these were a mountain, a couple of mountains, I would have 2 cards I can cast. But am I gonna go to 5 here? I think it's better chance to win by drawing the one of my 10 red sources here. There it goes. Historian. No Lash of Malice. No 2-drop either. Oh yeah, they were thinking about the mulligan there because they didn't immediately keep it, and now they actually didn't draw what they needed there, at least yet. They missed one play here. Let's see if they miss. Okay, what is this? I thought they had a... I thought they actually had a... a black and white deck, and now they have a Quandrix Campus. That was weird. Okay, the squad is definitely fine because when this dies so that they have no other creatures, I couldn't care less. So let's just attack with everyone. They would take 9 damage otherwise. Are they gonna do that? This is at the beginning of your upkeep. This doesn't target, so I can use this Infuriate in upkeep if I really want to. And then I can exile it and use it again. Because I have no other instant or sorcery in there. But they would have to tap out on something that, you know... I guess I can make the couple of these 5 power and that... Well, let's see. It's an option to cast Infuriate in upkeep and then when this trigger resolves, it's going to be good. Okay, that is... They could have the Lash of Malice there. I'm not gonna do it now because they have 2 mana up and I'm not in any kind of a rush here. I can't just, you know... Oh. Can't just kill it. Then it's lethal unless they have something. And if... Oh, and I have to Infuriate if they have a Lash of Malice. So this should be quite good. Oh, it has lifelink because instant and sorcery spells I control have lifelink. Only matters for burn spells. So it's gonna be a Lash of Malice or... Okay, so this is... I can use this to save it from that. Deal a million damage. And that was it. I get to be on the play again, a 5-lander, but with these 2 drops, I think I'm gonna keep it. Hopefully I don't draw 3 lands as my first 3 draw steps. Well, that's one. So are they thinking about the attack? They could have the. They could also have the thing that gives death touch, gains them 2 life, and then returns the target creature if it dies. But now that they did attack, they don't seem to have it. Okay, now my second row was at least a 4-drop, although it is just a 2/4 until I find something to exile with it. But main point is that it was at least not a land. Okay, they deal that thing away, that's fine. That was just a 2-drop. Now it is a useful 2-drop because my spirits are... I have a lot of spirits in the deck, but it's still, this Mage Duel can get rid of some more problematic cards too. Now, sadly, my third draw was a land, so keeping a 5-lander and then having 2 out of... from the first 3 draw steps I have 2 lands, it's not great. Damagoth, okay, that is... That's annoying. Well, okay, at least I get the Scribe. But now they will sacrifice the Eye Twitch. And I will take 7 damage. Because I'm not blocking that thing. They get to learn pest tokens, I'm guessing here. Oh, they discarded a card to draw a card. But let's see if they can have some sacrifice fodder. It could be a Professor of Zoomancy or things like that. I also don't have really answers for that thing, because my deck doesn't have the Expel, not even in the sideboard, not to mention in the main deck. So definitely high toughness creatures are problematic for me. Make your mark. It's not so great here, actually. It's not great at all. I can't even use it to kill the Demagoth Voyager, so yeah, let's do like that, and I don't think I have a Scry. Upkeep Scry doesn't seem to make any sense. Well, there is the heated debate, so so I can kill the Voyager on the next turn if my Scroll Wielder stays alive. So I'm gonna attack with the Scroll Wielder now. Actually, I can kill it. Oh. If I kill this, if they don't have anything, I kind of hope they had something for it. I mean, I didn't hope they have something for it. My point is that now that they have mana up, if they have something for it, the heated debate plan won't work. Now, if I do this heated debate here, kill this thing right now. I guess I should have done it actually pre-combat, so I could have attacked with the general too. How does this work? How does this work? Okay, it works like this. Okay, they had nothing now, so they have to sacrifice that, and I will lose. Discard a card, I mean. They do know I have a heated debate in my... Maybe they have Professor's Warning. They have to have a Professor's Warning. Otherwise this makes no sense for them to... No? Okay, maybe they just forgot. That's a thing. Alright then. So... Oh, and why I'm at 18 life is because my heated debate gained me life, because I have... This gives lifelink for my instant and sorceries. Now the opponent played nothing there. Now, and I finally drew a good card. I can scry. Get some lesson when I exile whatever they might have. But what? They had six lands and... Okay, Bookworm. Well, that's the perfect answer. I have the Rise of Exodus, which is the perfect answer for that. They still get to draw a card, but that's really not so... that's not so problematic. Okay, that's a lot of lands. Let's not draw that one. I guess I can draw that one, so I will exile, I suppose, something like the Damagoth. Oh, it only, of course, exiles instants and sorceries, so let's get rid of that thing then. And I will have Elemental or the Flyer. I can't cast a Flyer. I drew a land, but not a one that enters untapped. Guess I'll just take the 4/4. Now I will be casting the Rise of Exodus next turn, even if they don't give it... no, if they don't have a creature, I can't cast it in that case. So they harmonize. They know that I will be exiling the Rise of Exodus, so... Harmonize is a very good card though. Okay, I will exile this then. I will exile this thing actually. And oh, they don't actually even want to continue there, which is kind of understandable when you get to go off with these and learn spells. This was gonna get me value every turn, but I guess they could still draw removal for the Radiant Scroll Wielder. They weren't gonna die yet. They even had a lifelinker because I would have exiled the Blood Researcher, and I think with this 9 mana I had available, I would have gotten the Inkling Summoning. I attack for 4. I don't know, this lifelinker. Well, I don't have to worry about it now. So, with a Bloom. Is Grape Shot going to be good enough here? It can deal 2 fairly easily. But... well, I have the Heated Debates, I have the Rip Apart. That is enough removal for their guys. I think the deck is fine, as is. Well, that is a good hand, finally. no, not a 5-lander. So now it doesn't matter what I draw. I will be playing all of these cards. They have something for 2 mana here, or 1 mana. Okay, I got a 3-drop here. So they missed their turn 2 and turn 3 plays. Whatever they have available, it wasn't worth playing here. And I go 2-drop, 3-drop, so this is quite good. Okay, they can only sacrifice this unless they have something for... something instant speed. Well, there's not much I can do about it. I can't kill it. I can attack with both and then use heated debate or, you know, actually enthusiastic study. But I will be discarding a card. And I think it's going to be the Blood Age General number 2, because I don't want to discard the planes. I don't need the planes exactly here because I have only red cards in here. But I might still want to have like an enthusiastic study and make your mark available, or heated debate and make your mark available. So I think I'm gonna play the land and play the Blood Age General here, and then just discard the Blood Age General. Although it is quite good with the spirits I have here. But I think the other cards are slightly better. So they had an eliminate. Let's see if they have a response to the make your mark. They did not. And they flunk. Okay. They had removal, and I drew here sadly. Well, maybe it's not that sad, but if I knew I was gonna draw a mountain, I would have discarded the planes for the thing, and I could have played the Blood Age General there. So I think I'm just going to heated debate this thing, and let's see what I draw. If it's a land, well, it's a mentor. Well, in that case, I don't necessarily want to attack with the Historian. If I drew a land, I would have attacked with it. They block it, and I have the 5 mana to exile this thing. But now I want to play the 3-drop instead. Okay, Mage Duel on that. Deadly Brew. Okay, so they get to return a permanent card from graveyard to hand. Okay, the Professor of Azumacy. That is good for them. Especially when I draw lands now. Well, I get to scry when I use the Historian. That is at least convenient. And I still have the enthusiastic study here. They chose the Leech Fanatic, so they definitely have something, because otherwise they would have played the Professor of Assumancy. Okay, no that. No thanks to that land. Umbral Duke. Okay, that's what they chose to do. Oh, Mavinda is gonna be good. But I think it's time to use the Enthusiastic Study here. I want them actually to block with the Leech Fanatic here. They might not block, because it has the lifelink. But now that they did, I will do this. And I actually could have gotten the Inkling summoning, but I feel like the Elemental is better, and I can still play the Mavinda here. And with the Mavinda I can use the... They have to remove it, otherwise I will use the Enthusiastic Study again. Also Make Your Mark is available as a thing I can do. But let's see if they find removal. They did not. Did not find removal there. A debate. Huh. I think I'm gonna debate instead. I mean debate pre-combat. Now I have the option to use the study if I want to. Now I could trample quite a bit of damage here now. They wouldn't die. I would trample, I mean, even if they don't have anything. But they might have something, and with the Mavinda up, this only works once per turn, right? Yeah. So I can, with Mavinda, with the 3 mana up, I can have the Make Your Mark in here. I can use it if they have some removal. So I think I will, because this is not gonna be a lethal even with the study, I don't have to risk here anything now. I will keep the Make Your Mark up. And I still have the study available, you know, for next turn or anything. Okay, that is a good one, but you have only 3 lands left. 3 mana left here. They played a land before the Harmonize. Poets. Okay, so now they are gonna lose, right? Yeah, they would have to have now the Lash of Malice there, which they of course can have. Well, now that they didn't block. Lash of Malice doesn't work if I use this on the Mavinda. Yep. Okay, so that was finally a 3-winner, I think. Yeah, it's been a long time since I had a traditional draft with 3 wins, but now it happened. And the deck was... I had 2 pretty high impact rares actually, and both did some work in the game, so I was able to draw them. And otherwise it's just... well, it's a removal and a curving out. Doesn't really require anything. That's usually okay in limited, but of course the good rares here help. And the Heated Debate is of course a high quality removal spell, so if you have a triple of those, it's going to make it easier to win some games. And I do like the, in these low hold decks, the Blood Age General is actually quite okay, because you can have a bunch of spirits, and the boost you can give it to their power, it can be certainly relevant. So this is better than just a random 2 mana 2/2. But for example in Prismari, this often is just a 2 mana 2/2, because you won't have a lot of spirits in the Prismari deck. You can have a few, but not that many of. Alright, so that was the draft. Deck was decent enough, and I got, you know, lucky enough in the matches to get the 3 wins. So let's claim the prize, and next one will be another stab at Dominaria Premier Drafts. I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.